Once upon a time, in a dense forest on the island of Crete, there lived a raven named Raven. Raven was a smart and cunning bird, but he was also known to be lazy and selfish. He often spent his days lounging on a tree branch, watching the other birds fly around and gather food. One day, a severe drought hit the forest. The rivers and lakes dried up, and there was no water to be found anywhere. The animals of the forest were desperate, and they began to worry about how they would survive. Raven, however, was unconcerned. "I'll just wait until it rains," he thought. But days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and still there was no rain. Finally, Raven realized that he needed to do something to survive. He knew that there was a nearby lake, but it was guarded by a group of fierce and powerful eagles. Raven knew that he would have to be cunning and resourceful if he was going to get past them. So he devised a plan. Raven flew to a nearby farm, where he found a large, empty jug. He picked up the jug with his beak and flew back to the forest. Using his sharp beak, Raven chipped away at the bark of a tree, creating a small hole. He then flew to the lake and filled the jug with water, but just as he was about to fly away, the eagles spotted him. Raven knew that he had to act quickly. He flew back to the tree with a hole in it and carefully poured the water into the hole. Then he waited. Slowly but surely, the water seeped out of the hole and into Raven's waiting beak. The other animals of the forest watched in amazement as Raven repeated this process day after day, never giving up, even when the eagles tried to stop him. Soon, the other birds began to follow Raven's example, and they too began to find water and survive the drought. As the weeks went by, Raven became a hero to the animals of the forest. He had shown them that even in the face of adversity, it was possible to find a way to survive. And he had reminded them that sometimes it takes a little bit of cunning and resourcefulness to achieve our goals. The story of Raven is a powerful reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, it's possible to find a way forward. By being resourceful, creative, and persistent, we can overcome even the greatest challenges and achieve our goals. I hope this story inspires you to take on your own challenges with courage and determination. As Raven continued to find water and survive the drought, he realized that he had learned an important lesson. He had always been a smart bird, but he had never really applied himself or worked hard to achieve his goals. But now, he saw that by being resourceful and persistent, he had been able to achieve something that seemed impossible, and he knew that he could apply this same attitude to other areas of his life. So, Raven began to put more effort into his daily activities. He spent less time lounging around and more time exploring the forest, gathering food, and honing his skills as a flyer. And he found that he enjoyed these activities more than he had ever thought possible. As the drought finally ended and the forest returned to its normal state, Raven had become a changed bird. He was no longer lazy or selfish. Instead, he was focused, driven, and determined to make the most of every opportunity that came his way. And the other animals of the forest noticed this change in Raven. They saw how hard he was working, and they began to respect him more and more. In fact, one day, a group of young birds approached Raven, asking him to teach them how to be as resourceful and persistent as he had been during the drought. Raven was happy to share his knowledge and experience with them, and he became a mentor and role model to the young birds of the forest. And so, Raven's story became a legend among the animals of Crete. He had gone from being a lazy and selfish bird to a hero and a teacher, inspiring others to achieve their goals through hard work and determination. I hope you found this story motivational and inspiring. The story of Raven is a powerful reminder that with the right attitude and a willingness to work hard, we can overcome even the toughest challenges and achieve our goals. As time passed, Raven continued to inspire the other animals of the forest with his hard work, determination, and resourcefulness. He became a leader and mentor, teaching the young birds how to find food, build nests, and defend themselves against predators. But Raven didn't stop there. He wanted to make an even greater impact on the forest and its inhabitants, so he began to explore the surrounding areas and make new friends. He met a group of squirrels who showed him how to climb trees and gather nuts, a family of rabbits who taught him how to forage for herbs and vegetables, and even a wise old owl who shared his knowledge of the stars and the moon. With each new friend and experience, Raven became more knowledgeable, more skilled, and more confident. He realized that there was so much to learn and discover in the world around him, and he was determined to soak up as much knowledge as he could. One day, Raven received news of a nearby forest that was facing a similar drought to the one he had experienced years before. He knew that he had to help in any way he could, So he gathered a group of animals and set off on a journey to the other forest. When they arrived, they found that the situation was dire. The animals were weak and thirsty, and there was no water to be found anywhere. Raven knew that he had to act quickly if they were going to survive. Using the same resourcefulness and determination that had saved him during his own drought, Raven devised a plan. He and the other animals worked together to dig a series of small channels, leading the water from a nearby stream to the heart of the forest. It was hard work, and it took days of digging and building to complete. But finally, the channels were in place, and the water began to flow. The animals of the forest drank their fill and rejoiced, grateful for Raven's leadership and ingenuity. As the forest recovered and the animals returned to their normal lives, Raven realized that he had achieved something even greater than he had ever thought possible. He had not only saved the forest from a devastating drought, but he had also brought together animals from different species and backgrounds, working together towards a common goal. And Raven knew that this was just the beginning. He had seen what was possible when animals put aside their differences and worked towards a common goal, and he was determined to continue to make a difference in the world around him. From that day forward, Raven became a tireless advocate for unity, cooperation, and perseverance. He inspired animals across the island of Crete to work together and achieve their goals, no matter how daunting the challenge might seem. And in the end, Raven's legacy lived on. His story was told and retold for generations, inspiring new leaders and heroes to emerge and make a difference in the world around them. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe the channel for more videos like this.